So I'm John Shepherd. I live and work in Toronto. I'm an adjunct scientist at Toronto Rehab, and I'm the project lead on SCIU.
And I'm Karla Badger-Brown. I also live and work in Toronto and collaborate with our team on SCIU, and I'm the project manager.
So SCIU is an online destination where people can find e-learning on healthy living with a spinal cord injury. So our intent is to bring to people wherever, whenever, the information that they need to live a healthy and full independent life as a person with a spinal cord injury. It's particularly designed for people who are adapting, so in the first year or two after experiencing a spinal cord injury. But our sense is that the wider audience really for it will be anyone who lives with a spinal cord injury, their family, caregivers, healthcare professionals, and anyone who wants to know more about what life with a spinal cord injury is like. The material on SCIU has been designed to be aligned with efforts to help people with spinal cord injury prevent secondary complications. And so the topics, bladder, bowel, skin, nutrition, are directly aimed at the health concerns that people with SCI encounter most frequently, and that therefore are the most costly for the healthcare system. So our sense is that by using the information in the courses, becoming more skilled and knowledgeable in their self-care, people will have a life that is healthier, and of course this will be to the benefit of society and the healthcare system as a whole. We think, frankly, that one of the ways the healthcare system will have to change in the future in order to empower patients to care for themselves is by becoming vastly more efficient at educating patients and at transferring information.
There's this real challenge in the SCI community, but where do you get your information? Where do you get knowledgeable, evidence-based resources? And we found that, nurses, physiotherapists, occupational therapists, they're all looking for a resource that's easily accessible. They know where to find it, that they can sort of get a brief update and understand what kinds of materials they should be communicating with their clients. And so I think this is an opportunity to make it a resource that's not just useful for patients, but also for the whole healthcare community.
Consumers have been involved in this project from start to finish. Initially, they were consulted in order to determine what their learning needs were, so we could figure out what topics to cover. They were involved in the content development, along with researchers and clinicians, in putting together the material that appears in the courses. We use consumers as video presenters, and so when you actually go and look at the courses, you'll see some of the many faces of SCI speaking to you. And finally, we've included stories where consumers tell us about their real-life experiences in ways that illustrate and amplify the lessons and learning objectives.
I think it's important to emphasize that SCIU is not it was not developed by a small group of individuals, but in fact we've had the support and effort of over 100 collaborators from across the country. Subject matter experts, consumers, production facilitators. And so without their help, SCIU would not exist.
Also, I think that SCIU and e-learning in patient education is, in our view, the first step on a journey towards a very different way of doing rehab, where the patient and the rehab team interact around an array of technologies that make their work much more efficient and much better informed. And so we hope that this is one experiment in a series that will take us places. Well, who knows, but we're excited.